Hey Forest Box Kids, Miss Katie here. This week we are going to be drawing a sweet little bunny. But first, before we get started, let's go over our basic elements of design. Our basic elements of design are line, shape, form, value, space, color, and texture. We will be using lines and shapes. We're going to create some spacing. And in the end, if you would like to add some color and texture to your scenery, you are welcome to do that with colored pencils or watercolor. But let's go ahead and get started. The main item we're going to be focusing on is our bunny. And beyond that, we're going to put our bunny into a place and to create some depth and actual form, not really form as far as the body of our bunny, but form as far as the scenery. We are going to use different elements to create some depth in our picture, such as our horizon and then some overlapping of elements so that our bunny looks like he's in a place, not just sitting out in the middle of nowhere. But you will get to decide what kind of place you want your bunny to be in. This is just my own rough example, and you can follow steps to create this scene or create any scene of your choosing. But let's go ahead and get started with the body of our bunny. Now, the basic shapes we are going to be utilizing for our bunny is, I wonder if you can guess, we are going to be utilizing some circles. We're not going to be creating a big circle, but we're going to be combining some smaller circles together. Okay, so let me get this set up and we'll put our paper here. Now we're going to start with an oval that's kind of tilted diagonally. If you look at the angle of the ears, our oval, which is going to represent the head of the bunny, is going to be tilted on that same diagonal. So whatever size you'd like to do your bunny, go ahead and we're going to start with a tilted oval. And what you can do is you can create a nice diagonal line to help you decide how your oval, like to have your oval sitting on that axis. Okay, now the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create another tilted oval, kind of on a similar parallel line, but it's going to be larger and it's going to be sitting below the bunny. And this is going to be the front quarters of the bunny. Now, the front of this circle, if we did a line here, it's going to be sitting right about the same distance forward. It's just going to be coming more farther backward. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead. It's going to come about halfway through. And we're just trying to create an oval. And I use a lot of little lines. And if you do a line, you don't have to. You can see it's still a little bit tilted, okay? It does not look like much of a bunny at this point, but you will see it's going to turn into one. Okay, and then the next thing we have is another. It's still going to be a tilted. It's going to be sitting just right behind, and it's going to be about the same. It's going to be smaller, but it's going to be sitting about the same, on the same level of, let's say, a ground here, okay? It's going to be a smaller one, sitting a little bit farther back. Okay, so we have just 3 circles here, and from these 3 circles, we're going to build our bunny. Okay, so now I'm going to clean out my circles. Go ahead and do the same. Decide which line is your favorite and erase. You see how I have all these separate lines? I'm going to try to pick the ones I want the most. Still keeping my pencil nice and light. Okay, I did a little bit of cleaning up there. We're going to start. I'm going to erase this front line. I'm not erasing any of the extra lines yet except this one in the front. And from this right here, we're going to build the little nose of the bunny. So we're going to come down a little bit farther out, and then we're going to curve back inward, just like that. Okay? We just built our nose out. Now, can you already imagine what's going to be sitting on this line up here? That's right, the ears. Okay, so now we're going to follow this line down here. And right about here, we're going to create a curved line that goes back And this is going to be the front foot of the bunny. And it's going to, just like this. Okay? And then coming out behind, this is his chest puffing out. We're going to have another foot. Oh, it's going to be sitting a little bit higher. Just like that. All right? So now we go to the back of our bunny. We're going to create the body. It's going to loop all the way around these circles. All right? So I'm going to come down, loop around these circles, just like this. And I'm going to come back down around this one, just like that. And at the bottom, I create a little bit of a notch, a little bit of a vertical line, and this is going to be his back foot. And I'm going to do the same thing from this line, and it's going to go up and over. And on these little feet, well, we'll add some details after we do some erasing. And then right at the back here, we're going to have a little bit of a half circle for a tail. Can you guys see this bunny? And let me go ahead and darken these lines in case it's hard for you to see. All right. So next, let's go ahead and add our ears. We're going to let it sit on this vertical line, and we're going to start with our first, this is going to be the front ear, okay? And we're just going to do a curved line on one side, and then a curved line on the other, okay? And then we're going to do an ear that's sitting behind it. Just like that. Wow, looks like it's going to be a great bunny. Just from some basic circles, you can build a really great bunny here. So let's go ahead and erase the inner lines, these circles on the inside. Now, if you want to add some texture, you can go in with like a jagged line on his chest and maybe a jagged line across his back. And then I'm going to erase. I'm going to erase the connecting line on the front ear, and I'm going to let the one on the back ear remain. Okay. And then right here, I'm going to draw just a little bit of a line. That's going to be his nose. And we'll draw the eye sitting right in the middle. And that's just going to be a circle that we color in. And we'll draw a few whiskers here. So from this point on, we can add some details to the feet. We're just going to add a little notch at the front for his little toes there. And if you want to add a little texture over the back of the tail, you can do that. And I'm gonna darken this line in the ear. And we have our bunny. This was a very fast drawing this week. So from here on out, now let's put our bunny in a place, okay? We're gonna start with one thing that's gonna give us a lot of depth, which is a horizon. This is a horizontal line all the way across our picture. And we're also doing another method of creating depth, which is overlap. Our horizon is gonna go across, but it's going to stop where the bunny is. The bunny is sitting in front of the horizon, so we will not continue it, and then we will continue it after, okay? So let's go ahead and draw a horizon. You can use a ruler if you like. I'm just gonna draw a horizontal line. I'm gonna have it sitting higher up than his feet. And I'm just eyeballing it. You want it to look like it continues on the same plane. Okay, so we've got that. Now there's the overlap. I want to add a little bit more. I want to put something sitting in front of the bunny and something that the bunny is sitting in front of. And this is really going to give our bunny some, give him his place and give us the illusion of depth. So the first thing we're going to do is create a little bit of a flower patch. So it's really simple. Just a little bit of a horizontal line sitting below his foot. And it's a jagged one, like a tuft of grass. And then I'm going to do a few wispy lines sticking up. These can be random and going in any direction. And at the very top, I'm going to do a little circle and those flower petals going around. A circle and the flower petals going around. And these can be very simple and quick. Nothing too fancy. And then around the middle, I'm going to do a little bit of a little side notches in my pencil. These are going to create the illusion of leaves. And if you look, they're just little horizontal, maybe figure eights, little squiggles to create the illusion of leaves on this, okay? And so right behind the bunny, you could draw a big tree. You could draw a picket fence. It could be anything you want behind the bunny, but something the bunny is sitting in front of. And what I'm going to draw is just simple, tall grass, okay? And this is just up and down lines, okay? Just like that. I'm going to do it, and they're going to overlap, and it's not going to be anything fancy, but the bunny is going to be sitting in front of them. And they're not going to go over the bunny or on top of the bunny. The bunny is going to be sitting in front of the grass. Okay? Now, if we want, we could go across our horizon and make it jagged to make it look like grass. Okay, and another thing I have is I've got some rocks right here. Okay, so I'm gonna, on top of my horizon, draw a larger rock and a couple smaller ones sitting on the ground. It's going to look like they're sitting on the ground. And I'm going to erase the horizon line. This is, again, overlap. And then I'm going to create some grass, but sitting right behind these rocks. This puts these rocks in place so they don't look like they're just sitting in the middle of nowhere. And maybe I'll do a little bit of grass in front of it. Okay? You can use so many options to create a scene for your bunny. These are just my choices. You can draw a house. You can draw mountains. You could draw another animal. You could draw also a little bit of a worm here. Anything you like in this picture. I'm going to draw a few more tufts of grass sitting around. Maybe another rock. And then right here I might draw larger tufts of grass. And it's just a messy lines, nothing too crisp or clean or pristine, but it gives you the illusion of grass. Very simple shapes here. And then here I have some flowers. So I'll go ahead and create my different lines for the flowers just like I did before. And then at the top, I'll do some rough flower tops. What's really great about pencil is simple strokes can create the image that you need, and it doesn't have to be too detailed to create the illusion of what you're trying to go for. Then here I'm doing these leaves on the side, and then maybe a little bit of more grass at the bottom. So what we've created is a foreground. This is the front, a middle ground where our bunny is, and we have a start of a background here, which is behind the bunny. And what I have to finish my picture are some clouds. So I might draw a cloud here. And if these clouds if I want them to look farther away, I'll make them skinnier. And then maybe as they go up higher, they'll get wider. So now you can add anything else you like. You are welcome to color it in with colored pencil. You can use watercolor. Go ahead and write your initials here. And we are all done for this week. Great job with your bunny. Have a wonderful week, and I look forward to seeing you next time.